matuto sa mga aral sa mundo. Tayo na. Tumutok na sa TV, mag-aral ng maigi to get the lessons easily. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na.
Good afternoon, Constellations of Stars, especially to our senior high school learners who are with us in our FB Live.
Welcome to Astral Academy Cyber School. We are still live in the Pintayo Tanggub and Astral Academy FB page and YouTube channel.
I am Ma'am Shermay S. Epong from Tanggub City National High School.
And I am Siti Badria Datodakula, also from Tanggub City National High School.
And we are your teacher facilitators today. May hapon, Ma'am Bads.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Sherry. Today is January 11, 2022. We will be discussing Week 8 in the subject Discipline and Ideas in the Social Sciences.
Yes, ma'am. So, again, welcome learners now for our Week 8. So, for this week's competency, analyze the practical use of social sciences in addressing social concerns and phenomenon.
Okay, so actually, Ma'am Sherry, the social sciences, like the physical or biological sciences, are intellectual subjects directed primarily toward understanding rather than action. So it would, of course, be of curious kind of understanding that had no implications for action. And this is perhaps especially true for the social sciences.
Yes, exactly, Ma'am Bads, no? So there is actually a difference, no, between enlarging one's understanding of human behavior and society on the other hand, or one hand, and trying to solve social problem on the other. So the social sciences are distinct from social problem solving. So, but each can contribute to the other, ma'am.
Okay, Ma'am Sherry. The social sciences do have a contribution to make to social practice, but not so large a contribution as they will make it help to develop properly. At this point in history, the magnitude of major social sciences, social problems exceeds the capacity of social scientists to solve them.
Yes, ma'am. No, so this competency, ma'am, will provide the role of social science in the real world. No, so there will be an illustration of situations and contexts in which social science can be applied. So after going through this competency, so students are expected, of course, to analyze the practical use of social sciences in addressing social concerns and phenomenon. Pero, before we go further, we will continue our discussions after a short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School. And we are back, still in Astral Academy Cyber School.
We are still live in Deped Tayo Tanggub and Astral Academy FB page and YouTube channel.
Okay, yes, Ma'am Bads, no? So, again, just a reminder to our senior high school learners that at the end of this discussion, no, you need to answer the activity number 8. So, students, please watch and listen attentively to the discussion.
Okay, Ma'am Sherry. So let us start with knowing the Philippine Social Science Council or PSSC. It is a private or non-stock, non-profit organization of professional social science associations and social science research and instructional institutions in the Philippines.
Okay, so PSSC, ma'am, no?
Yes.
So, or the Philippine Social Science
Council.
Council. So, again, non-stock siya, a non-governmental organization which aims to support social scientists in the Philippines. So,
Yes.
nagasuporta ni sila sa mga social scientists na to, ma'am, to increase the impact of their work and to connect with other scholars also. So, it is significant actually in Philippine affairs as it is directed to solve issues and concerns in the society. So, mo nang nagsuporta gid sila sa itong mga social scientists.
Okay, so in addition to that, Ma'am Sherry, social science provides empirical data about what the problems are, encourages people to propose possible solutions, and you try them, and some of them work.
Yes.
Okay.
So, in the Philippines, ma'am, there are actually social scientists.
Yes.
Mao ni gisuportaan sa PSSC,
Okay.
no? So, in various discipline that helps the society address issues and phenomenon. So, actually, we will discuss some of the social scientists.
Okay, so one of the social scientists one of those is Teodoro Agoncillo. So, he is noted a Filipino historian, essayist, poet, and author in the 1985. He received the National Scientist Award for his contribution to the Philippine historiography. He is known as the national author whose books, essays, and poetry often reflects the point of view of the Filipino masses.
Okay, si Teodoro, ma'am, no?
Agoncillo.
Yes. And then another social scientist in the person of Professor Randy David. Actually, si Randy David, ma'am, familiar taani kay TV personality po this
Yes.
no? He has played a dynamic part, no, in achieving social justice in the Philippines. So, by sharing his knowledge as a sociologist widely through university education, sa TV programs, newspaper columns, and has made great efforts, no, to promote academic and cultural exchange among Asian countries and to deepen their mutual understanding. So, mao na si Professor Randy David.
We also have Gerardo P. Sica. He is a Filipino economist whose career spans teaching and research, government services in the highest councils of economic policy, policymaking, and international economic work as a development practitioner. He's also known as Advocacy of Market Economic Principles for Philippine Development.
Okay,
Yes.
so si Sikat. And then, aside from Sikat, ma'am, we also have Michael Tan. So, si Michael Tan, when it comes to anthropology, no? So, he is recognized for his significant contributions, no? To another anthropological scientific research, education, advocacy, and development work. So, accordingly, si Tan daw, or si Michael Tan, obtained his Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from the University of the Philippines, no? An MA in Anthropology from Texas, A&M, and PhD Anthropology from the University of Amsterdam. Mao nang dako kay pud siyag natabang when it comes to anthropology here in the Philippines.
Okay, so we also have Alfredo Lagmay. He greatly influenced the development of scientific psychology. So he introduced behavioral studies in the psychology and published numerous researches on experimental analysis of behavior modifications. reflections, and related states in the hypnosis. Of course, he is influenced by psychology. So, of course, he study about behavioral studies.
Yes,
of
ma'am.
course.
So, sa psychology po siya
psychology, yes. Alfredo Lagmay.
Lagmay. And then, another social scientist, no? We also have Jose Abueva. So, si Jose Abueva served as the president of the University of the Philippines in 1987 to 1993. So, he actually introduced the Socialized Tuition Fee Assistance Program, or kanang gitawag na tong STFAP. So, that was in 1987. So, si Abueva also institutionalized a Filipino language policy within the university. So, he was the president of Kalayaan College as well as the University of the Philippines. That was
Okay,
Abueva.
alright, Ma'am Sherry. So those were some Filipinos who contributed with the development of our social sciences study in the Philippines.
Yes, ma'am. So, a growing awareness, no, actually, of the global relationship has become part of the academic disciplines, from which, of course, the participants study Philippine issues, no? So, together with the scientists, no, social scientists. So, these disciplines include anthropology, no, history, linguistics, literature, sociology, political science, economics, geography, as well as environmental sciences. So, performing arts, communication, and others in the broad field of humanities and social sciences. So, those were the discipline nga, kung baga, part ni siya sa ginasuportaan sa PSSC. No?
Yes.
So, naatay mga social scientists ato, ma'am.
Okay, so multi and interdisciplinary perspectives are becoming increasingly important. This makes the organizations of periodical, multidisciplinary conferences even more fruitful and inspiring. In the Philippines, research are encouraged to solve social issues. It has been the focus in the various social groups beginning in the 21st century.
Yes, ma'am. So, that's for the use of social science, ma'am, in addressing social concerns. So, mao to kaganiha atong gi-introduce ang nagkalain-lain na mga social scientists, no? Naapod sila yung mga advocacy sa ilang different fields of expertise. So, naa sila yung mga advocacies, contributions, ideas in addressing social concerns and of course phenomenon, no? So we will continue our discussion after a short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School.
Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Ipipina, 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 ipipina.
And we are back still in Astral Academy Cyber School. Okay, learners, no? Since again we're done with the discussion on week 8 competency, so kindly check your self-learning materials for your activity number 8. So sa inyong activity na amoy essay, no? Answer the questions or the following questions. All you need to do is you write your answer in the space provided sa inyo ang SLM activity. So, number 1 question, based on your research, no, on the life and works of Filipino social scientists mentioned in the lecture notes, katong atong gipang mention kaganiha na mga social scientists, no? So, pwede mo mag-research pa og ila ang mga further information about sa ilaa
And their contribution.
yes, contribution, advocacy,
Yes.
no, and then what were the challenges during their time. So mo na inyo ang i-research, and then what social phenomena were addressed with their researches and studies. So you look for unsa may gi-address sa ilaang studies, say for example katong sa history, sa anthropology, no? And then where the researches conducted by this social scientists given attention and were used for national development and concern. So naabay kumbaga gamit ang ilang nabuhat na mga researches, and then unsa po'y ilaang contribution ani nga mga researches sa ato ang development diri sa nasod.
Okay, so I think nasabtan na to sa atong mga learners. Okay, so for the senior high school learners, please check the attendance marker, second attendance marker on the top of your screen.
Yes.
Okay, so as stars, we hope that you learned something from our discussion today. So if you have any questions or comments about the topic, please write it down below. Write it in the comment section.
Yes.
Okay, so we hope our learners have a very good time while watching our FB Live. So this has been your Ma'am Siti Badria Dato Dakula from Tanggol City National High School.
And your Ma'am Shermay S. Epong from Tanggol City National High School. Thank you for watching and have a blissful day. Keep safe, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Addition of multiplication, subtraction of ang division. Problema dali ra sulbaron, kay ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon.
Tayo, tayo na. Buksan ang mga radyo, lina at matuto sa mga aral sa mundo. Tayo, tayo na. Umutok na sa TV, mag-aral ng maigi to get the lessons easily. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tayo, tayo na. Let's come and learn together, supporting one another. We love, we care, we share. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tangkop, tangkop time.
The Department of Education, Division of Tangub City, in partnership with the local government unit of Tangub, presents Ang Tangkub, transforming advancement in the new normal, guiding K-12 learners under broadcast media, crafted in response to the need of making education possible and accessible to students at the comfort of their homes. It covers the most essential competencies thematically layered in drama plays, which were originally written, directed, and performed by teachers to see to it that education is securely provided. This is Ang Tangkub.
It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na.
Hello! Welcome back mga grade 7 Mathematics. Today is another brand new day to learn another lesson in mathematics.
Dito sa nag-isang programa nyo,
Ang Tangko! We learn all things ang saya! Ready na ba kayo? Hooray!
now let us begin.
This time, learners, stay tuned and get prepared, for we will tackle new lesson. This is all about differentiating algebraic expressions, equations, and inequalities. Now, to clearly differentiate algebraic expressions, equations, and inequalities, let us have their definitions and examples. When we say algebraic expression or simply an expression, it is a mathematical phrase indicating a number, a variable, or a combination of numbers and variables and operation symbols. Example, 7x. 7x is an algebraic expression since it is a combination of a number, which is 7, and a variable, which is x, being multiplied together. Now, how about this example? Y minus 10. Right, this is an example of algebraic expression since it is a combination of a variable y and a number 10 together with the operation symbol. Now, how about an equation? Or what is an equation? Well, equation is a mathematical statement indicating that two expressions are equal. It uses the equality symbol. Here are some examples of equation. We have negative 2x is equal to 4. This equation indicates that the two expressions negative 2x and 4 are equal. In the second equation, we have 4 is equal to 7 plus y. In this equation, this shows the equality of the two expressions 4 and 7 plus y. The next example is 12 minus 3 is equal to 9. In this equation, it indicates that the two expressions 12 minus 3 and 9 are equal. Next is inequality. What do you mean by inequality? Inequality is a mathematical statement indicating that an expression is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to another expression. It uses the symbols less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal. Here are some examples of inequality. First, we have m is less than negative 11. In this inequality, it indicates that the expression m is less than the expression negative 11. Next inequality is 2 is greater than negative 5. This inequality shows that 2 is greater than negative 5. Another is 12z plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 2. This inequality shows that the expression 12z plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Now, learners, it's your turn to try. Identify whether the given mathematical phrase or statement is an expression, equation, or inequality. First, negative y is equal to 12. Right, this is called an equation. Another, y is less than 4. Correct, this is called an inequality. How about this one? X to the power of 4 minus 13x. Very good. This is an example of expression. Do you get it? Good. Easy, right? Learners, take note. The symbol used for an equation is the equal symbol, while the symbols for an inequality are less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, less than, greater than, and not equal. And when we say algebraic expression, it doesn't use equal signs nor inequality signs. Complicated? No. Now, since you have learned already differentiating expressions, equations, and inequality, it's time to get your activity sheet in this lesson and answer the given activity. Let us read the directions. Identify whether each mathematical phrase or statement is an algebraic expression, equation, or inequality. Write your answer on the space provided. Activity B. Write your own examples of algebraic expression, equation, and inequality. Write your answer on the table provided.
Take your time in answering the activities.
If you have questions or clarifications, you may contact the number of your teacher printed below your activity sheet. To end, always remember that the essence of mathematics is not to make simple things complicated,
But to make complicated things simple.
Grade 8 learners, stay tuned and get ready for Math 8 is coming next.
Good luck and God bless everyone!
Hello! Welcome back mga grade 8 Mathenics!
Today is another brand new day to learn another lesson in mathematics.
Dito sa nag-isang programa nyo,
Ang Tangkub! We learn all things, ang saya!
Last episode, we already learned if-then statements and its inverse, converse, and contrapositive. Today, learners, stay tuned and bear with us today, for we will tackle another lesson, a continuation topic of an if-then statement. This is the equivalences of the statements. First, what do we mean by logically equivalent statements? When we say logically equivalent statements, these are statements that have the same logical content. Example, the truth value. Now, how can we determine truth value of the conditional statement? Recall that the implication or conditional statement is always true except in the case that P is true and Q is false. See the truth table for the implications below. The truth value of conditional statement is either true or false. It is false only when the hypothesis is true and the conclusion is false. Let us have an example. Determine the truth value of the following related conditionals. The given conditional statement is, if a shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. If we're going to check the given statement, it is true, since all triangles are polygons. The converse of this statement would be, if a shape is a polygon, then it is a triangle. Analyze the converse. Is it true? If not, give a counterexample. When we say counterexample, it is any example that shows the statement is false. Well, in this case, the converse is false because a square is also polygon. It is not necessarily a triangle. Square is what we call the counterexample. The inverse of this statement would be, if a shape is not a triangle, then it is not a polygon. The inverse is false because a square is not a triangle, but it is a polygon. Contrapositive of this statement would be, if a shape is not a polygon, then it is not a triangle. A contrapositive is true, since you cannot find a shape which is not a polygon but a triangle. From the example, notice that the given statement and its contrapositive have the same truth value. Therefore, the conditional statement is logically equivalent to its contrapositive. Likewise, with the converse of a statement is logically equivalent to the inverse of a statement. Now let us have another example. Illustrate the equivalences of the statement and its contrapositive, and the converse and inverse of a statement. The given statement is, if a number is divisible by 2, then it is divisible by 4. This given statement is false. Counterexample would be, 6 is divisible by 2 but not divisible by 4. Converse of the statement. If a number is divisible by 4, then it is divisible by 2. The converse is true. Inverse of this statement is, if a number is not divisible by 2, then it is not divisible by 4. The inverse is also true. Contrapositive is, if a number is not divisible by 4, then it is not divisible by 2. The contrapositive is false. Counterexample would be, 6 is not divisible by 4, but divisible by 2. Therefore, the statement and its contrapositive are both false, while the converse and inverse of the statements are both true. Thus, the statement and its contrapositive and the converse and inverse of a statement are logically equivalent. Complicated? No. Now, since you already learned to write direct and indirect proof, then it's time to get your activity sheets in this lesson and answer the given activity.
Just take your time in answering the activities.
Now, if you have questions or clarifications, you may contact the number of your teachers printed below your activity sheets. To end, remember this quote: if you can't run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl.
Whatever you do doesn't matter. What matters most is that you keep life moving forward.
Grade 9 learners, stay tuned and get ready for Math 9 is coming next. Good luck and God bless everyone! Welcome back mga grade 9 Mathematics.
Today is another brand new day to learn another lesson in mathematics.
Dito sa nag-isang programa nyo,
Ang Tangko! We learn all things, ang saya! Ready na ba kayo?
hooray! Now, let us begin.
Last episode, you have learned how to perform operations on radicals. Now, how about solving equations involving radical expressions? Well, learners, stay tuned and get prepared, for we will tackle a new lesson. This is all about radical equations. When we say radical equation, it is an equation in which a variable is under a radical. Let us have examples. These are examples of radical equations. Notice that the variable is under the radical symbol, and these are non-examples of radical equations, since there is no variable under the radical symbol. Again, take note that radical equation is an equation in which a variable is under a radical symbol. Now, how to solve radical equations? Well, let us have an example. Solve cube root of x minus 2 is equal to 3. To solve this, let us first write our original equation. Next, isolate the radical that contains the variable. But in our example, isolating the radical that contains the variable, we are going to apply addition property of equality. So, we are going to add both sides by 2. So, we now have cube root of x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 3 plus 2. Simplifying, negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. So, on our left side of our equation, we have cube root of x left. And on the right side of our equation, we have 3 plus 2. But 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So we now have cube root of x is equal to 5. Next to isolating the radical that contains the variable, we are going to eliminate the radical. But to eliminate it, we raise each side of the equation to the index of the radical. Now, since the index of the radical is 3, so we are going to raise both sides of the equation by the power of 3. So we now have the quantity of the cube root of x to the power of 3 is equal to 5 to the power of 3. Now let's simplify. The quantity of the cube root of x cubed is equal to x. And 5 cubed or 5 to the power of 3 is equal to 125. Therefore, the value of x in our given equation is equal to 125. Now to check if our answer is correct, then we can substitute the value of x in our original equation. So we now have, copying the given first, cube root of x minus 2 is equal to 3. Substituting 125 to the value of x, we have cube root of 125 minus 2 is equal to 3. Simplifying, cube root of 125 is equal to, right, it is 5. So we have 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So 3 is equal to 3, which is a true statement. Therefore, the solution of a radical equation, cube root of x minus 2 is equal to 3, is 125. Easy, right? Now, since you know already how to solve radical equations, then it's time to get your activity sheet in this lesson and answer this activity.
Take your time in answering the activity.
Now, if you have questions or clarifications, you may contact the number of your teacher printed below your activity sheet.
To end, always remember that our life is like math. At this time of pandemic, we must add patience and happiness. Subtract hatred and anger.
Multiply hope and divide love for everyone to share. Grade 10 learners, stay tuned and get ready for Math 10 is coming next.
Good luck and God bless everyone.
Welcome back mga grade 10 Mathematics.
Today is another brand new day to learn another lesson in mathematics.
Dito sa nag-isang programa nyo,
Ang Tangko! We learn all things, ang saya! Ready na ba kayo?
hooray! Now, let us begin.
Last episode, we already illustrated the center radius form of the equation of a circle and determined the center and radius of a circle given its equation and vice versa. Now, learners, stay tuned and bear with us today, for we will learn another lesson, and this is all about graphing circle and other geometric figures on the coordinate plane. First, let us learn how to graph circle whose center is at the origin. To graph a circle with center at the origin, simply get the radius using this formula. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. And to locate the radius, start from the origin r units to the left, right, above, and below. Then connect it with smooth curve to form a round circle. Let us have an example. Draw the graph of a circle given an equation x squared plus y squared equals 25. Based on the given equation, it is understood that the center of the circle is at the origin, and the radius or r is equal to 5. since the square root of 25 is 5. Now locating the radius on the graph, we start from the origin. 5 units to the left, right, above, and below the origin. Then, connect it with smooth curve to form a round circle. Therefore, this is now the graph of the circle given an equation x squared plus y squared equals 25. Easy, right? Now let us proceed to graphing a circle given the standard form of the equation of a circle. And that is the square of the quantity x minus h plus the square of the quantity y minus k equals r squared. Or this is also known as the center radius form of an equation of a circle. Now to graph the standard equation or the center radius form, all you need to do is plot the center of the circle at point hk and then count out from the center r units in 4 directions: right, left, above, and below. Then connect these 4 points with the smooth curve to form a round circle. Let us have an example. Draw the graph of the standard form of the circle given an equation: the square of the quantity x minus 1 plus the square of the quantity y plus 5 equals 100, and determine the center and the radius. Now to graph this, first, we know that the standard form of the equation of the circle, the square of the quantity x minus 1 plus the square of the quantity y plus 5 equals 100, can be written in the form the square of the quantity x minus h plus the square of the quantity y minus k equals r squared. Thus, this implies that the square of x minus 1 plus the square of y plus 5 equals 100 can be written as the square of x minus 1 plus the square of y minus negative 5 equals 10 squared. Thus, the center of the circle given this equation is 1, negative 5, and its radius is 10 units. Now to graph, we first locate the center 1, negative 5, and from this center, we move 10 units to the right, left, above, and below. Then connect these 4 points with smooth curve to form a round circle. Therefore, this is now the graph of the circle given an equation: the square of x minus 1 plus the square of y plus 5 equals 100 with the center 1, negative 5, and the radius 10. Do you get it? Good. Now let us proceed to the next graphing. Graphing the general equation of the circle x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. In order to graph the general equation of a circle, you need to transform or rewrite this equation to a standard form or center radius form. And to graph the general equation of a circle, you must first complete the square and then work it on into center radius form. Now let us have an example. Draw the graph of a circle x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18 equals 0. And find the center and the radius of the circle. Now to graph this, the equation of the circle x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18 equals 0 is written in general form. Now to determine its center and its radius, we have to rewrite this equation into center radius form: the quantity of x minus h squared plus the quantity of y minus k squared equals r squared. And this implies x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18 equals 0 could be written into x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 10y equals negative 18. Add to both sides of the equation x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 10y equals negative 18 the square of 1/2 the coefficient of x and the square of 1/2 the coefficient of y. Half of negative 6 is equal to negative 3, and the square of negative 3 is equal to 9. Half of negative 10 is equal to negative 5, and the square of negative 5 is equal to 25. So this simply means that the equation would now then be x squared plus negative 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals negative 18 plus 9 plus 25. Simplifying, we now have x squared plus negative 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals 16. Grouping these equations, we now have x squared plus negative 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals 16. Factor in the first group, x squared plus negative 6x plus 9 can be written as the square of x minus 3. And factoring the second group, y squared minus 10y plus 25, this would be equal to the square of y minus 5. So rewriting, we can now obtain the square of x minus 3 plus the square of y minus 5 equals 16, or the square of x minus 3 plus the square of y minus 5 is equal to 4 squared. Thus, the center of the circle is at the point positive 3, positive 5, and its radius is 4. Now to graph, we plot first the point 3, 5, and from this point, we move 4 units to the right, left, above, and below. Then connect these 4 points with smooth curve to form a round circle. Therefore, this is now the graph of a circle given an equation x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18 equals 0, with a center positive 3, positive 5, and its radius positive 4. Easy, right? Now let us have the last graphing, and that is graphing other geometrical figures in the coordinate plane. In your previous grade, you learned how to plot point in coordinate plane. This time, you can graph other geometrical figures using your previous knowledge in plotting points. Now to plot any point, start at the origin, where the two axes cross. The first number tells you how far to go to the right if it's positive, or left if it's negative, along the horizontal axis, while the second number tells you how far to go above if positive, or below if negative, along the vertical axis. Then connect the points with segment to form a geometrical figure. Let us have an example. Draw the graph of the given coordinates, negative 4, 0 as point A, 0, 6 as point B, and 4, 0 as point C. So to graph, plot each set of points on the coordinate plane, then connect the consecutive points by line segment and describe each figure form. Therefore, this is the graph of the given coordinates. The triangle form is an isosceles triangle, since segment AB is congruent to segment BC. Complicated? No. Now, since you already learned to graph and solve problems involving circles and other geometric figures on the coordinate plane, then it's time to get your activity sheet in this lesson and answer the given activity. Let us read the direction. Activity A. Draw the graph of each of the following equations of a circle. Activity B. Name the missing coordinates in terms of the given variables and describe each figure.
Just take your time in answering the activities.
Now, if you have questions or clarifications, you may contact the number of your teacher printed below your activity sheet. To end, always remember that life is like circles. What goes around comes around.
What goes up must come down.
Good luck and God bless everyone! We hope that you have learned the most essential lessons you need to master. See you on our next episodes. This has been Ang Tangkub.
It's tangkub time. We learn all things, it's very fun, masaya. Tungkol lang.
Kung gusto mong maglingaw-lingaw, mga tawag magloling hayaw, mag-joyride na. Uba na ang imong barkada, silingan o pamilya, mag-joyride na. Sinatiuntang palibot, mga lugar sulod sa tanggob, magubanta. Silang gato makilaw, sa sanapog sa pulaw, laagunta. Labi na yun sa huyuhoy, ugnang dapit daghanong kahoy, talana. Maglibot tango, maglibot tango kita. Maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay tala. Maghihiusap, maghihigala. Let's get together, make life feel better. Kung gusto ka og entertainment, for fun and for enjoyment, no problem ka. Sinanduloy among pambato, kung usayo smart kaayo, believe jud ka. Panahon sab sa Disyembre, super gid ka aligre, malingaw gid ka. Fireworks display daghang ganahan, musidlak sa kalangitan, mapawag gid ka. Christmas symbols, capital of the Philippines. Ninira na ninyo makita, friends, diba? Diri sa tango, maglibot tango kita. Maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay tala. Maghihiusap, maghihigala. Let's get together, make life feel better. Makita, friends, diba? Hapit sa tango, maglibot tango kita. Maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay tala. Maglibot tango, maglibot tango kita. Maglibot tango, maglibot tango kita. Maglibot tango, maglibot tango kita. Maghihiusap, maghihigala. Let's get together, make life feel better.
Matuto sa mga aral sa mundo. Tayo lang. Pumutok na sa TV, mag-aral ng maigi, to get the lessons easily. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Let's come and learn together, supporting one another. We love, we care, we share. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fun. Masaya, tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine. Masaya, tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine. Masaya, tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine. Masaya, tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine. Masaya, tutok na. Tangkop time.
Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, halika na, mag-aral na. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, halika na, mag-aral na. Ipipina. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayo. discoverta, living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta. Dali na mag-science na kita, mag-observe o mag-discover ta, living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta, mga stars o mga planeta, mga stars o mga planeta.
TV, mag-aral ng maigi to get the lessons easily. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tayo, tayo na. Let's come and learn together, supporting one another. We love, we care, we share. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop, tangkop, tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tangkop, tangkop time.
Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. ipipina. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Addition o multiplication, subtraction o ang division. Problema dali rasulbaron, kay ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon.
Hello, hello! Happy Tuesday, everyone! Welcome to Astral Academy Cyber School. Of course, we are live na live today via Facebook page, Dep Tayo Tangob, and Astral Academy Facebook page. And today is Tuesday, and pag Tuesday, right, kami ang inyong makauban today. Again, I am Miss Elvin Nueva, and here with me is...
Yes, I'm Ma'am Gay Soterio Saavedra. So learners, welcome sa ato ang Quarter 2, Week 8 here in Astral Academy Facebook Live. And since karon kay Tuesday man, Ma'am LV, of course, it is Mathematics Day sa ato ang grade 7 to grade 10 learners.
Right, so hello and welcome mga Mathenics.
Yes.
Yes, Ma'am Gay, so magsugod ta sa tong grade 7 topic after our short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School. And we are back, still here in Astral Academy Cyber School. Of course, Ma'am Gay, before to mag-start sa atong grade 7 topic, dili na to kalimtan learners ang atong second attendance marker. Makita ninyo sa top of your screen. So, copy na.
Okay, so learners, take note sa itong attendance marker. So I guess, Ma'am LV, pwede na ito magpadayon sa itoang topic. So we will start with our grade 7 mathematics. So for our grade 7 mathematics, mao na itong competency sa quarter 2, week 8. We have differentiates, algebraic expressions, equations, and inequalities. Okay, so focus ita karon learners sa pag-differentiate aning tulo. So unsa kay kalainan aning tulo, no? We have algebraic expression, equation, and inequalities. So to start with, let us have first the definition of algebraic expression. Okay? So learners, please follow. So when we say algebraic expression, it is simply called expression. So, kung ingon tag algebraic expression, pwede ra pud ta mo ingon og expression alone. Okay? So, it is a mathematical phrase indicating a number, a variable, or a combination of numbers and variables and operation symbols. So, si algebraic expression di ay could be, pwede siya number, pwede siya variable, pwede po combination ni number and variable with the operation symbol. Alright, so let us have an example para ma-learn gid sa mga learners nato karon ug unsa si algebraic expression. Okay? So example. How about this one class? Okay. If we have 10x, matawag ba nato ni si 10x as algebraic expression or expression? Well, take note sa definition nato sa algebraic expression. It could be a number, a variable, or combination in number or variable with the operation symbol. Here, we have a number 10 and a variable x, okay? A number 10 and a variable x are combined together with the operation symbol. So, unsa kay operation symbol nato diri? Well, when we say 10x class, it means 10 times x, okay? So, they are combined together with the operation symbol multiplication, okay? So, 10x here is called algebraic expression or expression, right? Now, how about this example? We have, okay, here, y minus 11. So, si y minus 11 learners, matawag ba nato ni siya og algebraic expression? Well, based sa definition, algebraic expression, it is a combination of a variable and a number with the operation symbol. So, here, we have a variable y, a number 11, and operation symbol, which is the minus sign or subtraction symbol. So, y minus 11 is called an algebraic expression or simply an expression. Okay? So, Ma'am LV, pwede ba, how about this one, Ma'am LV? Matawag ba nato si 100 as an expression? The answer is yes. Because an algebraic expression could be, pwede ra siya number, pwede ra po siya variable, or pwede po combination ni number or variable with the operation symbol. So, si 100 ay, matawag po nato siya og expression. Okay? So, we're done with algebraic expression, learners. So, I hope nasabtan si algebraic expression. Now, let us proceed to the next term. We have equation. So, unsa po ka ni si equation? Well, this is the definition. When we say equation, learners, equation is a mathematical statement indicating that the two expressions are equal. Okay? So, it uses the equality symbol, this one. This is the equality symbol or the equal sign. So, kung makatagbo day mo learners o word nga equation, the first thing nga come up sa inyong mind is the equal sign. No? Kay equation man. But it means that, equation means that ang duha day ka expressions or it indicates that the two expressions are equal. Well, let us have an example. Okay? So here. So, example of equation is this one. How about here? 2x is equal to 12. So here,
2x is equal to 12 is an equation. So, obvious kaayo nga, no equation may tawagan na, ma'am? It's very obvious nga nagamit ang equal symbol. And then, it indicates that the two expressions, 2x and the expression 12 are equal. So, 2x is equal to 12 is an equation. So, sayon ragig kayo ninyo, mag-determine kung equation ba or dili ang given. Again, basta ganyan equation, nagid na siya equal symbol or equal sign. And it indicates that, again, that the two expressions are equal. So, gikan ta ni expression. So, si expression, watay makitang equal symbol ba na din ha? But pag abot na equation, natay makita nga equal symbol. And again, it indicates again that the two expressions are equal. So, how about this one, class? Okay, this one. 12 minus 2 is equal to 10. Yes, this is an equation. It uses the equal symbol. And it indicates that si 12 minus 2 equal di ay ni 10. So, ang duha ka expressions nga 12 minus 2 ug 10 are equal. So, these are some of the examples of equation. So, we are done with algebraic expression. We are done with equation. Now, let us proceed to inequality. So, when we say inequality, inequality is a mathematical statement indicating that an expression is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to another expression. So, from the word itself, inequality. So, opposite siya sa equation. Kung ang equation equal ang duha ka expression, well, si inequality, unequal, meaning not equal. So, dili equal ang duha ka expressions. It could be ang isa ka expression, less than ba, greater than ba, less than or equal to ba, greater than or equal to ba, or could be not equal sa isa ka expression. So, let us have an example. Okay? So, by the way, class, ayun ra po na to determine if inequality ba siya, kay nagamit siya aning 5 ka symbols, Ma'am LV. We have this one, the symbol less than. We have also this one, the greater than symbol. And then we have less than or equal to. And then we also have greater than or equal to. And lastly, we have the symbol not equal. Okay? So, example of inequality is this one. Here. M is less than 2. So, it's very obvious nga this is an inequality. It uses the symbol, this inequality symbol, less than. So, M is less than 2. Kung ato ang subton, M is less than 2. It means that si variable M or si expression nga M, less than pa ni 2. So, dili gid sila equal. Okay? Kaya here, M less than 2. So, si M gamay pa ni 2. So, M is less than 2 is an example of inequality. Okay? So, how about this one, class? Okay, here. Y plus 5 is greater than or equal to 11. Of course, this is an example of inequality. It uses this inequality symbol, greater than or equal to. So, kung atong subto nga inequality, it means that si y plus 5 or si expression nga y plus 5 is greater than or equal to 11. Okay? Now, learners, para inyo haging masabta na ito ang topic karon para ma-differentiate yun ninyong ayo si algebraic expression, equation, and inequality. So, let us have more examples. Now, maghatag may given, of course, and then you are going to determine kung equation ba na, expression, or inequality. Okay? So, how about this one, learners? Okay, here. 2x plus 5. Unsa ka ni si 2x plus 5? Expression ba ni? Equation, or inequality? Well, di po nato matawag og equation si 2x plus 5 kay watay makita nga equal symbol. Di po nato siya matawag nga inequality kay wala po siya nagamit og inequality symbols. So here 2x plus 5, it is combination of variable
numbers with the operation symbol, then this is called, very good, this is called an algebraic expression. So si 2x plus 5 is an example of algebraic expression. Okay? So how about this one, class? Okay, here. X squared is equal to 1. This one. Unsa kay tawag ani niya? Expression ba ni? Equation or inequality? Well, it's very obvious. Nagamit ang equal symbol. Therefore, it is called, very good. This is an example of equation. Okay? So, last example. How about this one, class? Here, y plus 1 is greater than or equal to 2. So, klaro kaayo, nagamit og inequality symbol nga greater than or equal to. So, this is called, very good. This is called an inequality. Okay? So, I hope nasabtan ang ato ang topic karon. So, we differentiate algebraic expression, equation, and inequality. So, grade 8 topics will be discussed after a short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School. And we are back still here in Astral Academy Cyber School. So, Ma'am Gay, human na sa sa atong grade 7 nga topic this week. So, this time, let's have the grade 8 topic. So, our competency for this week, for the grade 8, is we illustrate the equivalences of the statement and its contrapositive, and the converse and inverse of a statement. Actually, we're done with these three statements, the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. But this time, Ma'am Gay we will talk on its equivalences. Okay? So, now let's start with definition of logically equivalent statements. Okay, so, when we say logically equivalent statements, Ma'am Gay, these are statements that have same logical content. So, example, they have the same truth value. So, pareha sila. Now, how are we going to determine the truth value of a conditional statement? So, let us show here a table for the truth value for each conditional statement. So, for conditional statement, if our P is true and our Q is also true, then that means P implies Q. So, in that case, our truth value is also true. And if our conditional statement is, if our hypothesis is true also for conditional and our conclusion is false, then that time P implies Q. That means we will have a false truth value.
And at the same time, pag false ang atong P, Ma'am Gay, and pag true ang atong conclusion or Q, that means that our truth value is also true. And for if P is F or false and Q is false, then the truth value is also true. So as you can see, basically, the truth value of a conditional statement is either true or false, but false lang siya when the hypothesis is true and the conclusion is false. So that's time, Ma'am Gail. Let us have an example. Okay, so determine the truth value of the following related conditionals. So again, when we talk about conditional statement, these are what do you call this? Given statement. What's the other term for conditional statement, Ma'am Gay?
The if-then.
The if-then statement, that's right. So again, if we talk about if-then statement, that is, other term for that is for conditional statement. So let's have an example this time. Okay, so if a shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. Now, if we're going to check its truth value, we have to evaluate the given statement, if it's really true or false. So in this given, if a shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. Is this a true statement or false statement? Well, it is actually a true statement because the given statement shows that all triangles are actually polygons. Dili man nato siya matawag og unsa pang lain no ang triangle. When we talk about triangle, polygons gid na siya. It has sides and angles. Okay, so that statement is true. And again, if we're going to write the converse statement of that, again, if the converse statement, balihon naman to nimong if-then statement, no? So if P implies Q for conditional, for the converse, we have if Q, then P. Okay, so if we're going to translate or give the statement for this conditional statement for the converse, this would be, if a shape is a polygon, then it is a triangle. Well, this statement, is this a true statement or false? Well, balik ko na to. If a shape is polygon, then it is a triangle. Basically, it is false statement. That's right. So, if we're going to analyze the given statement, actually, natin gitawag nga counter-example. When we talk about counter-example, these are any example that shows statement that is false. So, in this case, niingon siya nga, if a shape is polygon, then it is a triangle. Well, it is false because let us take consideration about the square. A square is a polygon, right? But it does not have a triangle. A square is a polygon, but it is not necessarily a triangle. Okay? So, a square is polygon, pero dili tanang polygon a triangle. But the square is also a polygon. So, we can consider that square is the counter-example. No? Kaya naingon man siya nga, if a shape is polygon, then it is a triangle. But square is a shape, right? But it's still a polygon. So therefore, our counterexample is the square. So in that statement, our converse statement would be false. Now, inverse and contrapositive na dayon ta, Ma'am Gay. So if we proceed to the inverse statement, so again, when we talk about inverse, if P implies Q for conditional, that would be if not P, then not Q. Okay, so the inverse would be if a shape is not a triangle, then it is not a polygon. Okay, so the inverse is actually false. Right, Ma'am Gay? Because if a shape is not a triangle, then it is not a polygon. Wala man tayo makita nga triangle nga di na to siya matawag nga polygon, Ma'am Gay, right? So, ang triangle yun is a polygon. Wala na, man na to siya makonsider, di ba? In mathematics, triangle belongs to a polygon. Okay, so that statement is false. So nakita ninyo basically, from the conditional statement, we have a true statement. For the converse, that is false. And for the inverse, that is false. So last na lang, Ma'am Gay, that is the contrapositive. Ang contrapositive na to, if the conditional statement is P implies Q, then the contrapositive would be if not Q, then not P. So in this case, if a shape is not a polygon, then it is not a triangle. So that would be basically the contrapositive statement. So the contrapositive statement in this case is actually true, since we cannot find a shape which is not a polygon but a triangle. Okay? So basically, it is true. So makita ninyo, learners, that since we're talking about equivalences here, maghatag man ta sa converse, inverse, and contrapositive from the given conditionals. So in this case, as you can see, the conditional is true, converse is false, inverse is false, and contrapositive is true. So in this case, this given statement would be, we could say that conditional statement is logically equivalent to contrapositive, since both of them are actually true. And on the other hand, or likewise, we can also say that the converse statement and inverse statement are logically equivalent from each other because they are both false. So in this case, Ma'am Gay, if we talk about equivalences DI, we have to evaluate, we have to check the truth value of each statement. And if we could check the equivalences of each statement, then the truth value of each statement, then basically we can identify which statement are logically equivalent and which are not. Okay? So as simple as that for the equivalences of the conditional statements. Okay, so stay tuned and we'll be right back after a short break. Again, this is Astral Academy Cyber School.
Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Addition of multiplication, subtraction of and division. Problema dali resolbaron, kay ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan.
And we are back, still here in Astral Academy Cyber School.
Okay, learners, so we are done with our grade 8 mathematics quarter 2 week 8 nga topic and also our grade 7 topic. So this time, let us proceed to our grade 9 mathematics topic. So for grade 9 math, mo na itong competency sa quarter 2 week 8, we have solves equation involving radical expression. So again, we are going to solve equations involving radical expressions. So kung sa last episode na to, learners, we talked about radical expressions. When we say radical expressions, naagitay, first thing na come up sa itong huna-huna is the balay-balay or the radical symbol, okay? So this time, unsa pagkaan ang gitawag na radical equation, okay? When we say radical equation, this is its definition. A radical equation is an equation. So when we say equation, naagitay makita nga equal symbol. So it is an equation in which a variable is under a radical sign. So again, radical equation ang tawag sa equation if ang variable is under a radical sign. Okay? So let us have an example of a radical equation. So this one. Here, square root of x is equal to 2. So this is an equation because it uses the equal sign. But matawag baka na nato ni siya og radical equation. Well, ato ang susihon ang ato ang variable if na ba siya under the radical sign or na ba siya sa radicand nga part sa radical. So here, our variable is x. So it is, as you can see, it is under the radical sign. So therefore, this equation is called a radical equation. So again, ang timan-an lang basta radical equation, si variable na sa sulod sa radical symbol. Okay? Now, how about this example, learners? Okay, here. So we have another example. X plus 5 is equal to square root of 9. So it is an equation because it has an equal sign. But can we say that radical equation baka ni siya nga equation? Well, ang tawag na ito ang variable. The variable is in here, we have the variable x. As you can see, ang variable na ito is wala nasulod sa radical sign. So though natay radical diri class, but ang naa sa sulod sa radical na ito is a number. So therefore, kay nasusulod sa radical na to is a number, what tayo makitang variable, then this is not a radical equation. So again, ang timan-an lang nato sa radical equation in which ang variable is under a radical sign. Now, since you know already yung unsa ni si radical equation, well, let us focus sa itong main topic karon. So itong main topic is we are going to solve radical equation. Okay? Excuse me. So, how to solve a radical equation? So, let us have an example. Okay? We have okay, here. Cube root of x plus 2 is equal to 5. This is a radical equation. It is because a variable x here is under the radical sign. So, solving a radical equation, learners, it means solving for the value of the variable that will make the equation true. Like, unsa kay value ni x here, that kung paano na to ang cube root niya, and then plus na to og 2, equal ni 5. Okay? So, now solving for the value of the variable, we are going to follow some steps. So, ang first step na to would be, we are going to isolate the radical expression containing a variable in one side of the equation. So here, looking at the given, ang term nga na ay radical, nga ang sa radicand is the variable is kaninga term, cube root of x. So ang first step na to again is i-isolate na to siya. Dapat si cube root of x ra ang mabilin sa isa ka side sa equation. So wala o na to ning positive 2 ato ni siyang ibalhin sa pika side. So muna yung first step na to ha. So if maka-encounter mo given nga na-isolate na daan ang term with a radical nga na ay radicand nga variable, then no need na para i-isolate pa. So in this case, naman gud siya tapat nga positive 2. So we have to isolate this one. So dapat si cube root of x ra mahibilin. So using transposition method, we are going to transpose positive 2 sa pika side sa equation. When we say transposing or transposition method, ang positive becomes negative, ang negative becomes positive. But the reason behind that is the addition property of equality, di malimot. So, but karon, ang gamito na lang nato nga method is the transposition method to make things easier, okay? So, positive 2 here, ito i-transpose sa pika side, it becomes negative 2. So, we now have cube root of x is equal to 5 minus 2. So, positive 2 becomes negative 2. And here, ang term nga na ay variable inside the or under the radical sign is siya ra gyud maoy nahibilin sa pika side sa equation. Mo ginatong sumong. Okay, excuse me. Now, okay, here. So, let us continue. So, we now have cube root of x is equal to 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 is equal to, right, that is 3. So, we now have cube root of x is equal to 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay. So since our goal is to find the value of x that will make our given equation true, so we are going to remove the cube root. So ang first thing na tong buhaton after na mag-isolate is dapat ato ang ma-remove ning cube root or radical sign. Okay? Dapat si x ray mahibilin. So here, to remove the cube root or to remove the radical, so mag-raise ta og power both sides sa equation. So unsa pod ka nga power ang ato ang erase? Well, ingon na nion pag-determine. So para makabalo ka unsa nga power imong erase both sides sa equation, lantawon nimo ang index sa ato ang radical. Okay? So here, the index of our radical is 3. So since ang index sa atong radical is 3 man, so ang ato apong power is 3. Okay? So if nag-raise kag power og nag-raise kag 3 nga power diri nga side sa equation, maupoy buhaton nato sa pika side to balance the equation. Okay? So again, para ma-remove ang atong radical sign o unsay index, mao pod ato ang power. Alright? Now, simplifying, we have cube root of x raised to the power of 3. We now have, pwede na ito makancel ang ato ang atong radical or the radical sign and ato ang power. So, ang nahibili na lang sa left side sa equation is the variable x na lang. Okay? And then 3 cubed, that is 3 times 3 times 3. So, 3 times 3 times 3, that is equal to 27. So, I guess we are done. So, ang value there is a variable x is equal to 27. Now, learners, para mas sure ka sa imuhang na-obtain nga value sa variable, you can also do the checking. Okay? So, pwede ka mag-check or imong i-check yun ang imuhang na-obtain nga value sa variable para sure kag maupagin na ang sakto nga result or answer. Alright? So, how to do the checking? So, since we now have x is equal to 27, so ang value ni x nga 27 is ato alang i-substitute sa atong original nga equation. So, to do the checking, so ingon anion. So, first, we're going to copy our given. We have cube root of x plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay? Now, since x is equal to 27, so substituting 27 to x here in our original equation, we now have cube root of 27 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay? Cube root of 27 is equal to, so cube root of 27, when you say cube root of 27, mangita kag number, it times by itself 3 times 27 ang answer. So, walay lain, kundili 3. Because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So, we now have 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So, 3 plus 2, that is 5. And 5 is equal to 5. So, pag-check nimo, sakto man. Therefore, we can conclude that the value of x is really equal to 27. So, 27 is our answer. So, again, to solve for radical equation, ang first thing yung buhaton is i-isolate ang term nga nag-include og radical that contains variable in the radicand. Then after isolating, mag-raise kag power. So unsay index sa radical, mao pwede mo hang power. So and then dapat ang goal gyud nimo is pangitaw ng value sa variable that will make the equation true. And after na obtain na nimong value sa variable, para mas sure gud ka sa answer, you can do the, again, checking. Okay? So, that's it for grade 9 mathematics. So, grade 10 math will be discussed after a short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School.
Tayo na buksan ang mga radyo, lina at matuto sa mga aral sa mundo. Tayo na umutok na sa TV, mag-aral ng maigi to get the lessons easily. tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tayo na. Let's come and learn together, supporting one another. We love, we care, we share. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkop time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tangkop time.
And now we're back, still here in Astral Academy Cyber School.
Alright, so humanat sa itong grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9 lesson for this week, Ma'am Gay. So this time, let us have the grade 10 lesson. So our competency for this week is graph and solve problems involving circles and other geometric figures on coordinate plane. So last episode, Ma'am Gay, we already discussed on how to write the equation of a circle using the center radius form of a circle, and we actually determine also the center and the radius of a circle given the equation and vice versa. So this time, Ma'am Gay, let's have the graphing. Alright, so let's start with what if the circle is, I'm sorry, the center of the circle is on the center, just like this example. So, mag-start na sa first example, Ma'am Gay. We have here x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. So, basically, pag inani actually ang purma sa equation, we can easily identify that the center of this equation of the circle is actually at the origin, since we don't have the value of h and we don't have the value of k, and we already learned that one last episode. So in this case, x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. If we're going to graph this equation, the center, we already know that the center of this equation is at the point 0, 0, since we don't have the value of h and k. And here, based on the given, our radius is actually, since it's 25, and we know that the radius is, equation is the square root of the given equation. So in that case, our radius here is equal to 5. Since for the equation, we just have to square the radius. All right, so in this case, to graph this one, we just have to locate the center at the point 0, 0. So basically, this point here is the 0, 0, and that is the center of the circle. And then after that, we have to locate the radius. Again, the radius of a circle, pasabot, same good of distance from the center sa right, sa left, above, and below the center. So in this case, since radius is 5, so that means we have to move, or we have to have our graph 5 units to the right. So if we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that would be this point. So again, from the center, 5 units to the right. And since it's radius, so same pod og distance sa taas. So 5 units pod. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the point 0, 5. And again, same thing, buhato na to sa left side. So that would be negative 5 at the point 0, negative 5. And same thing, buhaton pod sa bottom. And that is 0, negative 5. Okay, so again, to graph an equation, if given the center is 0, 0 or at the origin, we have to, of course, locate the center, that is 0, 0, and follow the radius. Since our radius is 5, so that means we have to move 5 units to the right, left, above, and below the center. So since we already located the 4 points or the 5 units sa ato radius, then in that case, the next step would be we are going to connect these 4 points here, nga nasa right, left, up, and bottom, using a smooth curve to form a circle. Actually, when I am teaching this one, Ma'am Gay, I required my students to have their compass so that they could have a perfect circle. But since we don't have a bigger compass here, so actually, if you're going to connect that one, dapat perfect yun ang circle, ana. But actually, Ma'am Gay, pasensyahin na ang atong circle karon. So this is now the graph of the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. But I do have a smooth circle here. Okay, same ang mahitabo ha. I actually illustrated unsaon, but this is quite perfect for the circle. So yan ang mahitabo. Okay, so locating the center 0, 0, 5 units to the right, up, left, and bottom, and then connect the points using a smooth curve to form a circle. So that's it. That is how we graph a circle using the center 0, 0 and a given radius. Now, what if, Ma'am Gay, or second example, what if the center cannot be found on the origin or the point 0, 0? So let us have our second example. Where's our eraser? Second example, direct. Our second example is x minus 1 quantity squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to 100. So basically, this form is actually written in center radius form of the equation of a circle. So in here, it's very easy to identify, and we already learned this one last episode, identifying the center and the radius. Take note that the center radius form of a circle is given by x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So basically, the center here is the point h and k. So in this given example, we already have here the square of x minus 1 plus the square of y plus 5 is equal to 100. Basically, our center here is, of course, hindi na ito makita. Center here would be 1. And, of course, since it's positive 5, then therefore this would be now turn into a negative 5. Since we can write this one as y minus negative 5. Okay, so negative of a negative. That means that is equal to positive. So our center is 1, negative 5. And our radius is, since we have here 100, so basically square root of 100, that is equal to 10. So therefore, our radius here is equal to 10. All right, so since we already have here the center and the radius, then we can now easily graph this circle. So let's have here a blank Cartesian coordinate plane so that masunod ninyo unsaon pag-graph sa circle. All right, so again, unlike kaganina, nga to ang center is at the origin, so basically, our point nga nagsugod nato is of course the 0.00. Now, since our center is not already in the origin, it is in the point 1, negative 5, so that would be our base. Okay? So again, let's plot the point 1, negative 5. So again, our x is 1, and our y is negative 5, so this would be basically our point, 1, negative 5. Alright? Okay, do you follow, learners? And since we already have here located our center, then now we're ready to locate the radius. The radius is actually 10. Alright? So that means we have to move 10 units from our center point, 10 units to the right, 10 units upward, 10 units to the left, and 10 units downward, and then connect those 4 points using a smooth curve. Okay, so let's do that. Let's count 10 units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically, that is siya diri nga point if we can extend the Cartesian coordinate plane. And 10 units below. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, here if we're going to continue our Cartesian plane, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically in this point. Anyway, I have a ready-made Cartesian plane later, but just here we have to illustrate para makabalo mo sa pag-plot sa points. And then 10 units also upward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So same lang yun ang units sa right, left, up, and above. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then of course, since we already located the 4 points, again, on sa next buhaton, we have to connect these 4 points using a smooth circle to smooth curve to form a circle, but it's not perfect here, okay? So basically, inana siya pag-graph. Better to use a compass para perfect circle. But of course, I have a ready-made 1, negative 5. Ready-made. Fine. Okay. So this is now the graph. 1, negative. Okay, so next is, that's it. That is how we graph using given a center and a radius. Of course, again, the first step is you have to locate the center. and follow the radius 10, follow the radius. That means you have to count pila ka units, right, left, up, and downward. Alright, so that's it. Now, the last thing here for graphing a circle is what if the given equation is in general form, not in center radius form. So actually, it's quite a long process here now, Ma'am Gay, because ato pa siyang i-write into a center radius form to determine the center and the radius. Okay? So, let's have an example. So this would be our third example now. So how are we going to graph x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18 equals 0. Actually, this is a general form of the equation of a circle. As you can see, it's quite, we cannot easily identify the center and the radius since it's not written in center radius form or in standard form of the equation of a circle. So in this case, ato sa siyang i-transform into a standard form of the equation. And to do that, of course, we have to group the expressions to form or make a perfect square trinomial, and so that it's easier for us to factor and then ma-write na din nato siya into standard form of the equation. So first thing, to solve this, we have, of course, rewrite this so that we could group the terms having the same or common, having common terms. So in this case, we can have x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 10y is equal to negative 18. So that we could group these two expressions. We can have x squared minus 6x in this case, and then y squared minus 10y is equal to negative 18. Alright? So as you can see, from this general form, naka-write siya, ato siyang gigroup. Make sure nga mag-group ang like terms. So x squared with the x, y squared with the y, and as you can see, our constant is transformed, or transposed rather, to the right side of the equation. So in this case, since it's already a binomial, then we can make this expression a perfect square trinomial. So to do the perfect square trinomial, as a review, in getting a perfect square trinomial, this is just half of the middle term and square it as your third term of the trinomial. So in this case, if we're going to consider this negative 6x, the half of a numerical coefficient negative 6, that is negative 3. And if we're going to square negative 3, that is a positive 9. So in this case, we can now have x squared minus 6x. We are going to add 9. Take note of this expression, our term. And then, on the other expression, y squared minus 10y, we can make this a perfect square trinomial by again getting the half of the middle term and add the square to make it its third term of a trinomial. So half of negative 10, that is negative 5. And the square of negative 5 is 25. So in this case, we can now have y squared minus 10y plus 25. Again, take note of this term. Same thing, actually, kung mag-add ta sa left side, and if we're going to add the same term sa right side, wala rin nahitabo sa equation, right? Okay, so since we added 9 and 25 on the left side, same thing atong bahaton sa right side para ma-preserve na itong equation. So that would be negative 18 plus 9 plus 25. The purpose of having a perfect square trinomial here is for us to factor this out, and we can then achieve the center radius form of the equation of the circle. So since this is already a perfect square trinomial, so x squared minus 6x plus 9 can be written as x minus 3. X minus 3 squared, that is actually x squared minus 6x plus 9. And the other expression would be y minus 5. Quantity squared. So as you can see, this we already almost got the center radius form of the equation of the circle. And so if we're going to simplify negative 18 plus 9 plus 25, that is actually positive 16. So, from the general form of the equation of the circle, we already have its center radius form. So in this case, we can just easily identify the center and the radius. Makita pa ba? Center here, in this given expression, we have here, of course, H and K. So this is now 3 and positive 5 as our center. And since here is 16, pasabot, square root of 16 is 4. So in that case, our radius is equal to 4. So since we already have center and radius, then we are now ready to plot the points. Alright. So, again, unsay unang buhaton in graphing, we have to locate the center para sa to ang base. So since our center is 3, 5, let's locate 3 and 5. 3, positive 5, so it is found on quadrant 1. 3 and 5. Alright. And since our radius is equal to 4, so that means from our center or from the point 3, 5, we have to move 4 units to the right, 4 units upward, 4 units to the left, and 4 units downward. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, from the center, 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 units downward. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, this is now the graph of the circle. It's not a perfect circle because we don't have a compass. Given a general form x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 18. Okay, so this is a perfect one. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so as simple as that. All right. So this time, let us have other geometric figures. Actually, in plotting other geometric figures, it's the same thing. Okay, sa ato ang plotting. Okay, so let's have one example lang. So, if we're going to plot in a Cartesian coordinate plane these given points, we don't have other Cartesian plane naman day, Ma'am Gay. And 0, 6 and 0.40. So basically, we have here 3 given points. So, let's just use, or this one na lang, Ma'am Gay. Mas maayo. Okay na lang. Since we don't have extra Cartesian coordinate plane, so let's plot this. Let's make our Cartesian coordinate plane. So because it's part of our competency that we have to graph other geometric figures. So this is 0. Just consider this as not a perfect Cartesian coordinate plane. So again, in Cartesian coordinate plane, it is composed of x-axis and y-axis. The horizontal line is the x-axis and the vertical line is the y-axis. And the numbers to the right of the 0 are positive, and at the left of the 0s are negative, and up of the 0s are positive, and the below zeros are negative. So we have here given points, negative 4, 0 as point A, 0, 6 as point B, 4, 0 as point C. So let's plot this point and let's look for what geometric figures we can have. So we have here negative 4, 0. So basically, we have to start with the x-axis, negative 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is negative 4, 0. So the y-axis is 0. So we could find a point on the x-axis. And then 0, 6. 0, 6, so that means x is 0, y is on 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's extend this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, this is positive 6. So this point is 0, 6. And the next one is 4, 0. So that means x is 4 and 0 is y. So we could find it in the x-axis. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is positive 4. Then, let's connect these points. So connecting these points, we have here. All right, so what geometric figures we have? Right, this is a triangle. Okay, so plotting these points in a Cartesian plane, we form a geometric figure which is a triangle. And basically, this triangle is actually an isosceles because these two legs here in our triangle are congruent. Okay, so this is point A, point B, and point C. So as easy as that in plotting points. Actually, plotting points using a in a Cartesian plane is the same as graphing linear equation, graphing equation of the line. Same thing. You just have to follow the plotting of points x and y on the x and y axis. All right, so I hope that you learn a lot this afternoon. Okay, so we will be right back after a short break. This is Astral Academy Cyber School.
Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Addition of multiplication, subtraction of ang division. Problema dali ra sulbaron, kay ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon. Ang mati ay sayon.
And we're back, still here in Astral Academy Cyber School. So learners, that concludes our discussion for today. So I hope nasabdan ang grade 7 topic to grade 10 math topic. So, di kalimtan na itong third attendance marker makita karon sa inyuhang screen. Take note, learners.
Okay, so Ma'am Gay, magpasalamat ata. Of course, we would like to thank our executive producer, Sir Gasepe, and to our production team. So we have here this afternoon, Sir RR, Sir Norbel, and Sir Chris Avedra. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you also, learners, for watching our Facebook Live this afternoon. Okay, so see you in our next live. This has been Miss Elvin Nueva.
And Ma'am Gay Saavedra.
This is Astral Academy Cyber School. Bye!